This conference will now be recorded.
Hey Pearl, hey Pooja.
Hi Rajiv, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Great, great. Okay, happy Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get started.
Mhm.
Just give me a minute, let me bring up the slides. Let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Not yet. Yeah, can see it now.
Okay, now this is where we stopped, right? We went through the 4 values and 12 principles.
Yeah.
Yeah, any
Yeah.
questions on that?
No.
No? Okay, Pooja, any questions? Pooja, can you hear us? Pooja, if you're talking, we cannot hear you. Just give me a minute, let me check.
Okay.
Hey Pooja, can you hear us? Pooja, are you there? Okay, let's get started. So, next thing that we'll be discussing on is variations in agile principles. Meaning,
Okay.
at a broad level, we discussed about agile. What's there in agile? What is agile all about? Correct. So we discussed about values and principles. Now,
Yeah.
agile is a broader umbrella. Under that, we have various frameworks.
Okay.
Various frameworks. Scrum is one of those.
Hmm.
Scrum is one of those. And then we have lean software development, also called as MVP. Then we have Kanban. Then we have extreme programming. Then we have feature driven development. All these are various frameworks that are there in Agile. But the most widely used is Scrum methodology.
Okay.
Scrum is the one that is most widely used. We will in detail, go in depth about Scrum in upcoming slides. I have a lot of slides for that. But let's briefly discuss about the other four. The other four. Okay, let's focus and briefly discuss about the other four. Okay. Now, have you heard of the term MVP?
No.
Okay. Just give me a minute. I think
Hmm.
Pooja is trying to talk, but we are not able to hear.
Hmm.
Pooja, we cannot hear you. Pooja, are you there? Pooja, can you hear us? Pooja, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me
Okay.
now?
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Great.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. What we are talking about is, by the way, do you have any questions until yesterday on the
No,
principles and values?
not yet. No.
Okay. Now, today we'll discuss about variations in Agile principles. So, what I was saying is, Agile is a broader umbrella under which we have various frameworks: Scrum and Lean software development, Kanban, extreme programming, feature driven development. All these are the various variations that are there in Agile. But the most widely used is you know give me a minute. Yeah, but the most widely used is around 80% of the software organizations use Scrum. They use
Okay.
Scrum, okay, with with traces of other things also.
From.
With traces with traces of other things. So lean software. So Scrum. Anyway, I'll go in detail in the upcoming slides. We'll
Okay.
deep dive into it. So I'll park it for now. We'll briefly discuss about the other four items. Okay. The first one is lean software development or MVP, minimum viable product. Have you heard of this?
No.
No,
No. Pearl, how about you?
no, I haven't heard.
Okay, fine, sure. So lean software development, also called as MVP, minimum viable product. It's a concept where we build something to the customers with minimum effort, minimum minimum time, and minimum money. We don't spend too much, we don't spend too much effort, we don't waste too much time there. We just build something minimum, give it to the customer, take feedback from the customer, and add more features to that later. Okay,
Okay.
you're
Okay.
getting right. You're
Yeah.
just giving some basic things, then
Mm-hmm.
understand from the customer upon that what do they want, and
Okay.
add more features and give it. Like
Okay.
for example, take WhatsApp. When WhatsApp was first launched, you just
Mm-hmm.
had a chat feature, nothing more.
Yeah.
Okay.
And slowly they understood from the customers what they are looking for, what else can be added, what they are looking for, and also they understood from competitors like, what are all there. Like for example, they saw Instagram, okay, it has some show stories, reels, and everything. Why don't we build something like that, stories in WhatsApp also? That came up, and sharing of images, videos came up slowly, and then audio calling came up, video calling came up, sharing of status came up, and a lot of features came slowly, and it's still coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
to start with, they did not waste years together to build everything together, and finally the customers are not happy, or they're
Mm-hmm.
not liking the features, right?
Yeah.
They built something minimum. Upon that, slowly they added features based on what the customer wants. So
Okay.
this is the
Right.
concept of MVP, minimum viable product. Okay, so let me just open Google and show you something. So I just search for MVP. I'll go to images. So here, let's take one good example. Yeah, let's take this itself. See here. Now, how to build a minimum viable product? This one. I'll just go to this. Yeah. So here, initially you'll have this would be the prototype, this would be the MVP, and this would be the actual product. So, and here, take this. Yeah. Oh, is it not expandable? Okay, it's here. Yeah. So here, what we are trying to do is we are trying to give first release a car to the customers with minimum features of driving, minimum comfort, not too comfort, cozy and all. Still, you are selling the product. You are
Mm-hmm.
selling the product, and then you add more features. Slowly, you add more features, which is more comfort, better, more comfortable, and you are still selling it. Then add more features. Then add more features. Make it at the end of the day, make it a luxurious car, right? But it takes time. But again, from here, from point one, you will constantly keep taking feedback from customers using it, and based on that you will build the final product. But right from the first point, you are still able to sell the product, right? This is how you build a minimum viable product. However, the bad example is like this. How not to build a minimum viable product is, you cannot just give a tire, or just
Yeah.
tires or a door separately, right? And you are not able to sell your product until the final stage in this case,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? You're not able to sell the product until the last stage. Also, this is also how not to build a minimum viable product is this. Because these are different products. These are not
Mm.
the same product, right? So there's a different product itself. So again, this is not a way to build a minimum viable. But the last one is a good example. Okay. So that is lean software development or MVP. Any questions?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Next is Kanban. Now let's try to understand Kanban. Now to understand Kanban, let me go to this slide. So so Kanban, it came from usually, it's there from decades together, where in manufacturing industries and all, they'll have big boards on to-do list on the tasks that has to be moved from one department to the other department to the other department. As the task progresses, it will be moved, right? So here the task moves from left to the right, showcasing the progress, and it cannot skip any of these things. Like take example of car, assembling a car or a manufacturing of a car. So first it will be here everything, and then first the tires will be assembled. Once the tires are assembled, it would be sent to the next department. Maybe there the steering and other things would be assembled. Maybe once that is done, it would be sent to a department where outer body would be assembled. Once that is done, maybe it would be sent to a department where painting would be done, and then test drive, and then to the showroom. So it has to go in the sequence. It has to go in the sequence, and it cannot skip any of the step. But why do we use Kanban board? We are able to visually see how things are moving. We are able
Mm.
to visually see what are the steps involved. We are able to visually see how many items are there in each step. Assume, okay, I want to see how many items are there in painting department now. I can see it. And also I can set a limit saying that look, I don't want more than 3 items to be there in the painting department at any point in time or any other department. Such things also can be set. So that visual representation of the workflow is Kanban board. So when we do our project, we will also have a Kanban board. We will also add such development testing and things, and we'll understand more. Okay.
Okay.
Any
So
questions on
can
Kanban board?
can Kanban board, can you make alterations as and when the
Yes.
product goes on? You can make
Uh,
changes to the faces?
okay. These things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make changes. If you
Okay.
feel any of these steps is not relevant anymore, then you
Mm-hmm.
can remove that. Yes, you can change. We will
Okay.
create our Kanban board. We will define these stages when we set up our project. Okay.
Okay.
So Kanban board can be used in Scrum also.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. Next is extreme programming. Now, extreme programming concept here as a business analyst or product owner, your responsibilities do not change, but the way the software is developed or the way the programming is done is different. Is different when compared to the traditional way of doing it. Now, what is extreme programming is, it's a concept where you know it's a framework that where we target target for high quality software, and also at the same time high quality of life for the development team. So what happens here is we have few concepts here called as pair programming and test driven development also. So as part of this, you know what is pair programming is, um, pair programming is a concept where two developers sit together and they both work on the same module or same piece of code. It would be like this. Both of them would be looking at one single monitor and working on it. One person will act as a driver, the other person will act as a navigator. Okay. So
Okay.
this navigator will be telling what has to be done, and the driver will be doing it. Why do we do this? We do this to minimize the defects or errors in the the software that we are developing, because if we have two people working on the same thing, obviously we'll have four eyes, which means
Mm-hmm.
more defects or issues would be identified then and there itself, rather than leaking to the testing team later, right?
Right.
That's the intention of having pair programming here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's one concept in extreme programming. The other concept that's there is test driven development. Test driven development is nothing but where this is a case where test cases are written first. Test cases are written first, meaning how the testing would be done, what all the testing team will test for. when the test cases are first written. That means based on keeping that in mind, you can make sure you're covering everything as part of the development. Simple. So keeping that in mind, you can cover everything as part of the development. That is test-driven development. These are the two concepts that's there in extreme programming. But the way you write the requirements for you as a business analyst or a product owner, nothing changes for you. You
Okay.
still write the requirements the same way as Scrum or Kanban, whatever it is. You write the requirements the same way. Only that how the development work is done is different here.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions?
No.
No.
Okay. The next one is feature-driven development. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Next is feature-driven development. Feature-driven development. This is a concept where the team will focus on one feature at a time, meaning uh, very focused delivery. Now assume you are take example of Amazon website. There are so many features in that. Be it feature of sorting and filtering. Be it feature of games, that gamification. Be it the feature of tracking. All those things, right? There are a lot of features. So what we are trying to say here is, hey, look, as a team, let's focus on one feature. Completely focus on one feature, deliver it, only then we'll jump to the next feature. We'll not put our hands or make our hands dirty by working on multiple features. We'll focus on one feature and do that end to end, right from requirements to the development, testing, launch to the customer, and then only we'll touch the next feature. That
Okay.
way of working is called as feature driven development.
Mhm.
Okay, so feature driven development can still be combined with Scrum. Couple of these can be combined with Scrum actually. Okay,
Okay.
understand what is feature driven development?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So these are the variations that are there in Agile. Any questions or any more clarity that you need here? Of course, Scrum I have not covered. I will cover that.
No.
No.
Mm, okay, fine. So next module is about, okay, this is a big topic. I don't know. We have 20 minutes. Let's see. So next module is about overview of the Scrum process flow, Scrum roles and responsibilities, sprint goals planning, daily stand-up review, retrospectives, user stories, velocity release, bundle chart. So you might get little scared by saying other terms, which
Mhm.
maybe everything will be new to you. Correct? Everything might be new. So don't worry, we'll learn one by one. First thing is about overview of the Scrum process and roles. Let's try to understand this. Now, any of you who understand what is a sprint?
No, it's all
No.
new.
Yeah, it's on you.
That's new. Okay, sure, no worries. So, I was just teaching this for another class just before this. So I have things kind of jotted down already. We'll make use of the same thing. Okay. Now let's try to understand one by one here. Three things we need to understand here. The roles that are there in Scrum, the artifacts that are delivered as part of the Scrum, and the events that happens in Scrum. Okay. Now there are three roles: Scrum Master, Product Owner, Development Team. Now you might be wondering, okay, these are the three roles. Where does BA come into picture? Right? Any idea?
What what is coming?
Where does BA, Business Analyst, come into picture?
Okay.
Mm,
No,
Yeah.
no idea.
No,
Business
sorry, what was
analyst
that?
comes into picture when you get the information from the client.
Huh. Exactly. So in Scrum, business analyst is nothing but product owner.
Okay.
So whenever you hear about product owner, someone say about product owner, that is nothing but business analyst. In Agile world, the business analyst is a product owner.
Okay.
Okay. In waterfall world, business analyst is business analyst. But still, we use that term business analyst a lot. So when you are searching for a job, when you are looking for job opportunities, apply for both. If you come across business analyst, product owner, apply for both. Don't think, okay, only business analyst, you apply only for business analyst. No, apply for both. Okay.
Okay.
So in Scrum or Agile, a business analyst is a product owner. Okay. Keep that in mind. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So coming to the roles, there are three roles: Scrum Master, Product Owner, Development Team. Now let's try to understand what does this each of these role do. So is a person. Scrum Master is a person who will be, who will be um, guiding the team members, protecting the team members, you know, helping the team members to complete the work. The Scrum Master is a role like a manager without authority. A manager without authority who acts as a master for the team, at the same time slave. That is asking the team what they need and getting it, fulfilling their needs. So that's how it is. So this Scrum Master is a person who will be helping the team members, you know, drive through the sprint. Okay. So yeah, Scrum Master will more detail out on the responsibilities and all in the upcoming slides. Like for example, I have more slides here saying that what does Scrum Master do, what does each one do. But let's focus on the roles that are there. So there are three roles. Scrum Master will be helping to navigate. Product Owner, as I told, is a business analyst. You will be working with the customers, get the requirements from the customers, write it in a meaningful way where our development team understands it. Translate those requirements from the customer in a meaningful way so that our development team understands it. Okay, so that is
Okay.
product owner. Yeah, any questions?
Okay. So we usually have such kind of work that we have to take information from customer and send it
Correct.
to development team.
Development team in a way that the
They
development team
understand.
understands it. Correct.
Okay.
Yes, that's
So
you have.
usually our work will be like that only.
Yes, you act as a bridge between the
To
customers and the
customer and
development
development team. Okay.
development
Got
team.
it.
Correct. That would be the main thing. Yeah. And then you have the development team itself who will be working on whatever priority actions that you have given, whatever requirements or priority actions you have given, the development team will be working on it. These are the three roles that are there in Scrum. Any questions?
Okay.
No questions.
Okay, sure. Now next, let's move on to understand the events. Events. We have 4 or 5 events in Scrum, but before that, let's try to understand what is a sprint. What is a sprint? Sprint is a term that is used in Scrum where we say it's a time duration during which the team would commit to complete certain amount of work. The time duration during which the team will commit to complete certain amount of work. The time duration can vary anywhere between 1 week to 4 weeks. It should not be less than 1 week, or it cannot be more than 4 weeks. It varies from 1 week to 4 weeks. Okay, but
Okay.
most across the industry or organization, it will be usually 2 weeks. Usually it would be 2 weeks nominal. 1 week, sometimes 1 week will be very less, 4 weeks will be very too much. So 2 weeks is the standards that is followed. So that's the reason I kept it as 2 weeks here for better understanding. Okay,
Okay.
if it's a 2 week sprint, if it's a 2 week sprint where the team is committing to do some work, then your first day of the sprint would be today, that is 9th September. Assume the example, assume this is your first day of the sprint, 9th September. Then when would your sprint end? Your sprint will end on 22nd September, right? If your sprint is starting on 9th September, then it is ending on 22nd September, correct?
Okay.
This
Yeah.
is sprint start date and end date. Now,
Okay.
keeping these things in mind, it's a 2 week sprint and start date, end date. Now we have certain things to take care of. Just, we park this for now. Let's focus on these four. So we have four ceremonies: sprint planning, daily stand up, or also called a scrum meeting, sprint review, and then sprint retrospective. Sprint retrospective. Okay. Sprint planning is nothing but a meeting where all the team members, along with you, the business analyst or product owner, by the way, all these meetings would be scheduled by Scrum Master. You need not worry about scheduling any of this. The Scrum Master will schedule for you, and
Okay.
you should be part of this. Okay. So sprint planning meeting, you will be there. You as a business analyst or product owner, you will be there, and the team will plan the work for the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
This is the first day of the sprint, right? This is where the
Mhm.
team plans the work for next two sprint, saying, hey, okay, this sprint we have, okay, it's a 2 week sprint, but there are 1 or 2 days holidays. So we have 8 working days, and we are 8 people in the team. So how much work we can take? All those things will be planned. And what work shall we take? Uh, you as a product owner, you would have given the priorities. Based on that priority, team will start picking the work and plan the work. Okay,
Okay.
I'll go in detail in upcoming slides. Actually, what exactly happens in a planning meeting, I'll go here in detail. But at a nutshell, we'll plan the work. The team will plan the work and commit to work. Okay, and this meeting for a 2 week sprint should be for 4 hours on the first day. On the first day, you will spend 4 hours planning, because the better the planning, the better the execution, right? So that's the
Yeah.
reason we spend more time in planning. You will be there to help the team understand the requirements so that the team can plan better. That is on sprint planning. And daily scrum or stand up is a meeting where this happens every day, first thing in the morning, for around 10 to 15 minutes. It should not go beyond 15 minutes, where each team member provides an update on what they did yesterday, what they are planning to work on today, and if they have any issues or blockers. Simple. These three statements would be given. That is, what did I do yesterday? What am I planning to do today? And if there are any issues or blockers. Each team member will provide an update on this and start their day. You as a product owner, if you have time, you can attend this meeting. Otherwise, you can skip this. It's not mandatory for you.
Okay.
Okay. And then on the last day of the sprint, so assume on the 22nd of September, the team has worked on all the features that were identified as part of planning,
Mhm.
and the team worked for 2 weeks. On the last day, there will be a sprint review meeting. There will be a sprint review meeting where you call the customer, stakeholder, all other stakeholders, be it customers, your managers, or executives, whoever it is. You invite them. You invite meaning, so again, the Scrum Master does it, not you. So, but
Okay.
they are invited, and you, as a business analyst or product owner, you will walk through the features that were developed in these 2 weeks to all the stakeholders. You will brief about what work did we do in these 2 weeks, and we'll showcase the work that is being done in these 2 weeks to the stakeholders and take feedback from stakeholders. Like, you developed some page, assume the Amazon landing page you developed. Then maybe the feedback will from the stakeholders or customers saying that, hey, you know what, change the background color. I don't want the login button here. I want the login button there. So such kind of feedback you'll take, and then that would be worked upon. That is, you are reviewing the work with the stakeholders. That is sprint review.
Okay.
And finally, we have sprint retrospective. This meeting happens on the last day of the sprint again, and after the review meeting.
Okay.
And this is more on the process where you will discuss on, hey, in these 2 weeks, what went well, what did not go well, and where should we improve. Yeah, these three things would be discussed. What went well, what did not go well, where can we improve. What went well, example can be like the team collaboration was good, the team was able to deliver whatever was committed and things. What did not go well can be things like the requirements were not clear enough. Maybe the requirements can be more elaborated, and there are a couple of team members who took ad hoc leaves without any plans.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe such points will come up. And where can we improve on? Okay, maybe the requirements can be elaborated more elaborated requirements, better planning of leaves. Those things can be brought up in what where can we improve on. Again, this meeting is optional for you because you don't have much. But if you have any inputs, you can always attend and provide. But otherwise, it's optional for you. Okay.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So you said
Yeah.
the Scrum meeting, it's optional, you can skip it, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so like unless you attend these meetings, how will you know what should be clarified with the customer and the development team? How will we know that? Because we are like a bridge.
Yeah.
So if we
Exactly. You
skip
can.
this,
That's what I'm telling. It's optional. I'm not telling that it's not for you, right?
okay, okay,
It's optional. You can attend. However, if you
mm-hmm.
have conflicts, you,
Mm-hmm.
you you can skip it, and you can
Okay,
always sync up with developers offline. You should be available. The developers should be able to reach you offline also,
okay,
right? Not just in these meetings,
okay,
right? So that way, you'll be connected. Sure.
okay. And the sprint review, you said it will be like a walkthrough of the whole project, right?
Not the whole project. What you
Okay,
did in these 2 weeks.
okay, yeah.
Walkthrough of the work that is being done in these 2 weeks.
And how do we gather those information?
Because you would have planned here, right? You would have
Mhm.
planned what work we'll be doing. That's the same
Okay,
that would have been completed. So you'll take the same thing and showcase it.
okay.
Okay. Any further questions?
No.
Okay. So we discussed planning, stand-up review, retrospective. Now there is one other thing called as backlog refinement or grooming session. Okay. This has to be done for at least 4 to 5 days before the sprint starts. That is, if the sprint is starting on 9th, you should have this backlog refinement or grooming session, you know, maybe around third, fourth or so. And it cannot be one single session. It can be multiple sessions also, based on the need. Based on the need, you can have multiple sessions also. But what do you do here? This is mainly for you, the business analyst or a product owner. You explain the team what is the work that is coming up in the sprint starting 9th September. In the
Okay.
sprint starting 9th September, what is the work that is coming up? You will explain those things here. Why are we doing that 4 to 5 days before? Because if you explain the team 4 to 5 days before, the team will
Start
further
preparing.
start preparing further, try to digest, go through it, try to understand, come up with more questions, come better prepared and planned for the sprint planning meeting, so that the planning meeting would be more fruitful. If the clarity is completely there, the planning meeting will be fruitful. If the clarity is not there, then we'll start discussing everything in this meeting only, and the planning would be hayward. It
Mhm.
would be like hurry, right? Every day, okay, we have to start the sprint. Let's with whatever information we have, we get started. So that would be in a hurry mode. Instead of that, give the details to the team 4 to 5 days before, so that let them digest, let them understand, so that our planning will be more fruitful. Make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the mostly the 4 or 5 events that's there in Scrum. All those things, these things can be interview questions. So you need to be, knowing about all these things. Okay. So any questions or events before I move to artifacts?
No.
Okay, fine. Next is on the artifacts. So artifacts, we have three artifacts: product backlog, sprint backlog, and product increment. These are the artifacts. What are artifacts? Artifacts are nothing but deliverables. Deliverables. Okay. Now let's try to understand what are these three. Product backlog. Now this is the example I took in the previous class. Assume you are building a product like Instagram. You are building a product like Instagram. Okay. Now,
Okay.
if you want to build a product like Instagram, what are the various things that has to be done? Various things that has to be done: registration, login, reels, profile setup, settings, friends, following, unfollowing, filters, stories, many more. For example purpose, I've just put this. Okay.
Okay.
So if a product like Instagram has to be completed, these are the things that has to be, these are the requirements that has to be done. And this might take months together.
Mm.
This might take months together, right? So that backlog or the list of requirements that has to be completed to complete the product is product backlog. Now then what is sprint backlog? Sprint backlog is nothing but among this product backlog, what are the two or three, or how much ever based on the capacity, what are the things that we can take for the sprint, that is this 2 week sprint from 9th to September 22nd. Out of this backlog items, what are the things that the team can do? Here, registration and login. That is your sprint backlog. Okay.
Okay.
So your
Because
sprint backlog,
because that is necessary to start Instagram.
yes, yes, yes. So no, not necessary. It's like, yeah, priority. Yeah,
Yeah,
priority.
priority because of
Yeah,
without registration, without login, you cannot even
yes,
use
correct,
Instagram like
correct.
that.
Yes, yes, correct, correct. And your sprint backlog is always subset of product backlog. You pick items from product backlog to sprint backlog.
Okay.
Okay. So that is a sprint backlog on which the team will work on sprint. So this sprint you take these two, next sprint you will take these two, next sprint you will take these two. That's how it goes. So you have your product backlog, you have your sprint backlog, and then you have product increment. Product increment is nothing but by the end of the sprint, the team would have developed these two items. Correct? That is the incremental software. That is meaning partial software of the overall Instagram software that we have built, which will be showcased to the stakeholders.
Okay.
So product increment, that is incremental software that is being built, which you are reviewing with the stakeholders. These are the three artifacts: product backlog, sprint backlog, product increment.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. These are three artifacts. Any questions?
No.
No, I'm good.
Okay, great. Maybe too much information on today. So, let's try to digest, and if just go through this,
Mm-hmm.
try to revise. If you have more questions, let's spend first 15 minutes of next class, that is Monday, clarifying questions, and then we'll take it forward. Is that fine?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fine.
sure.
Okay, sure then.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll catch up on Monday then.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Take care. Have a good weekend. Take care. Bye.
Thank
You
you.
too.